The book I read for my independent reading project was A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. Betty Smith was a German immigrant who moved to America and then documented her life in her book, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. In her novel, Francie Nolan is a girl growing up in poverty. She has to deal with her father being an alcoholic and having no job. This book shows the division of social classes in America, and the prevailing motif is that of a tree that grows in her yard. And no matter how many times this tree is cut down, even burned, it always keeps on surviving. And this is relatable to the American dream, this idea that Americans are determined and hard work can pay off in the end. The tarot cards first became popular in England in the 1440s in a game called Trumps. Later, it was picked up by the occult and used for divination. In the 19th century America, this organization called the Golden Dawn attempted to bring about a resurgence of ancient knowledge. They designed a deck of tarot cards based on Kabbalistic tradition, Western mysticism, and astrology. They used this approach to create symbols used in the tarot cards. This later became known as the Rider-Waite deck of tarot cards. In America, not only the style of tarot cards changed, but also the meanings of the cards. For example, the card Death. Originally, the card meant the loss of a loved one. However, in America, the meaning of the card changed to transitions, meaning the end of one thing, but the start of something new. In the tarot, there are 22 cards called the Major Arcana. These cards represent the archetypical instances in the human experience. As Carl Jung wrote, the set of pictures on the tarot cards are distantly descended from the archetypes of transformation, meaning that all of the pictures on the 22 major arcana are archetypes that we all are supposed to relate to. Keeping that in mind, I use that lens to examine A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Remember the death card I was talking about earlier? This is my interpretation of it for A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. At the bottom you see a coffin representing the death of Francie's father, and at the top you see her pregnant mother. This card symbolizes that the end of one thing will bring on the start of something new. And this is a very important experience in Francie's life that contributes to her development into adulthood. Next we have Justice, which symbolizes fairness and judgment. This is my interpretation of the card. There is an instance in the book in which a young mother has a child out of wedlock. And she's walking in the town one day, and the unchristian, women of the town, very pious, throw stones at her and show their intolerance. However, instead of hitting her, they instead strike the innocent child. And I show this right here. You have the child struck by the stones, and you have the mother weeping down here. Lastly, we have Temperance, which represents moderation and hard work paying off in the end. This is my interpretation of the card. At the top you see spilled wine, which represents a unique time in American history, Prohibition. On a symbolic level, at the bottom, you see a scrub brush and water. This relates to Francie's job scrubbing floors at her neighbor's bar. And this is an important life lesson that Francie learns, that hard work pays off in the end. I definitely recommend reading this book. It's a classic illustration of the importance of keeping the American dream. And it also uses meaningful archetypes that depict growing up, even if facing hardships and obstacles. It's an amazing read, and there's not a second where you're not interested. I really recommend taking this out of the library and just reading it in your spare time. Thank you for watching.